When talking about the ongoing flooding, it is important to remember the protest against the construction of flood reservoirs. It's time to speak openly. This is a game of the Secret Service on Polish territory. I was also approached for recruitment. The German Secret Service tried to recruit me. I did not agree, but I know who was recruited. The environmentalists revealed that these are organizations that operate thanks to the financial support of the German services. He reported the whole matter to the Internal Security Agency, which, he said, would confirm his words. It certainly happens that there are such organizations which have either funding or orders from outside. I even know of such cases, which is why it is necessary to monitor both the way they are financed and to sanction behavior that has nothing to do with ecology, but is a form of pressure. Certain Polish actions are not only the result of pressure and lobbying by environmental organizations. These processes are closely connected with the capabilities of the German services, especially the Federal Intelligence Service. Regarding the actions of the German services in Poland, we called the spokesman for the coordinator of special services.
Czy polskie służby prowadzą także zabezpieczenie chociażby inwestycji, także z tego kierunku?
Do the Polish services also secure investments from this direction? Of course, that's what I'm saying. Send these questions to the Internal Security Agency and they will answer you, I promise you. By the time this material has aired, we had not received the promised answer. 5 years ago, when the then Law and Justice government unveiled plans to build a network of 9 reservoirs in the Nisakłodzka Valley, there was an uproar. Politicians and so-called environmental organizations were on the scene. This included all sorts of protests. It also meant directly approaching residents, discouraging them and portraying the investment in the worst possible light. The protests were led by the current Deputy Speaker of Parliament from the Civic Platform, Monika Wielichowska, and the current Deputy Climate Minister and Deputy Leader of the Green Party, Urszula Zielińska, supported by so-called environmentalists. 3 large annexes for 594 communist-era hydroelectric structures for probably 18 billion, but none of us really know that well. I appeal to you that we should not talk about these structures as investments. These are anti-investments. These are ways to impoverish our society. As a result, the authorities abandoned the construction of 5 of the planned 9 reservoirs on this tributary of the Oder River. Criticized for all actions. Let me remind you how we were criticized for various investments that today would save people's lives and health, and today they are being held hostage. Now, in the midst of the floods, Deputy Minister Zielińska changes her mind 180 degrees, although it seems she doesn't quite know what she's talking about. What does the government intend to do to minimize the effects of floods like the one we are experiencing now? First of all, billions for adaptation to climate change. That's reservoirs, small reservoirs, large reservoirs, such small reservoirs as in Racibórz Dolny. Experts have been saying for years that a plan to build reservoirs to protect Poland from flooding must be implemented. We should have this restoration retention, also forest retention, field retention, drainage retention resulting from the flooding of post-mining pits, but also reservoir retention, because in total, we need about 9 billion cubic meters of water retention from the mid-year runoff, and so far, we are retaining about 4 billion. Interestingly, the game of regulating and securing the Oder catchment area is still going on. Germany is worried about the growth of Poland's economic power. First of all, when it comes to waterways, the Oder route is very important. Since coming to power, Tusk's current coalition has been trying to block work on the Oder regulation and flood protection. An amendment to the law on work on the river is being prepared for this purpose. We are abandoning this provision about this list of priority hydro investments that are, and we all know this, unjustified for many reasons: economic, legal, environmental. We are talking about the United Rights plans to regulate the Oder River, in the bed of which hydrological structures are to be built to protect against flooding. So much so that the head of the Climate Ministry has already prepared an amendment to Law and Justice's bill. Out of 73 investments, she threw out 71, i.e. everything related to the construction of reservoirs, water stages, and weir modernization. 2 were kept: river restoration, because the current environmental interests of the Tusk coalition are strangely aligned with those of Berlin. Radosław Jankiewicz, Republika.